will be the zechus of today's neshama. Your father's name is what? Ben. Zechus of Rabbi Nachman, today's whole shachas, davening, everything should be for his source, especially with a kiddush like we have today, and having such an illustrious son. There must be something outstanding to have these levels such a kala. So, after such in-laws, so what's it got? Should be something special. So therefore, we'll discuss the title of the Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah means a new year where every person is judged. The Mishnah says, everybody in the world, every individual in the entire world goes before Hashem in judgment. Yom Kippur is also the Yom Hadin. In fact, it's called the Yom Hadin. Yom Kippur is not called Yom Kippur. The Torah is not called Yom Kippur. It's called Yom HaKippurim, plural. So the reason for it is that Yom Kippur means singular. Singular is one group, the live ones, those who are alive in this generation. Yom HaKippurim means it's a day of judgment, forgiveness for those who have passed away too. The person who's in heaven, he has to go for the Yom Kippur also. The Torah still exists. You think that people have vacation with Torah there? They romp around in the garden or barefooted, running through the grass, that's it. They're still the same Kedusha, the Torah, the mitzvahs. Of course, they cannot perform mitzvahs like we do, but they are still judged. So there is Yom HaKippurim, for those who have passed away. Now, this is every year. The same thing too, it is brought in the Shema, who passed away, is judged every single year. For him, his Rosh Hashanah, his Yom Hadin, is the day of his passing. That's why the yahrzeit is so important. Hashem explains. First we have Moshe. Everyone here knows, we've all learned the Yudaya, the Siman Shinai involved. Remember it says that the Lord brings their opinion about the yahrzeit, the Kaddish in general. The son should say Kaddish. The benefit of the Kaddish for the Neshama. The question is brought in the Zayda Kaddish by his Leach, where he brings the Shaila, where the Talmud Bavly brings in that this debate. What's meant by the son who davens for the Yom, who says Kaddish, is Mezakeh, the source for his parent. So it doesn't mean the saying a Kaddish alone, or does it mean the davening for the Yom? This there's a Mechlekes debate about this, and the Shulchan Aruch, the Ramah says that you're not being misled, saying the Kaddish is for children, not for adults. The real source is if the son davens for the Yom. We have a story in the Zayach Chodesh in relation to that, where the Zayach does tell us that the person davens for the Yom brought his father to a much higher level of Gedek. It's true, but at the same time, we cannot belittle it, because Arizal, that it tells us, Arizal brings up this Shat and Palga, saying the Kaddish alone is absolutely a major zechus for the Neshama. On this day, especially the day of the yahrzeit, even B'chlal, the Zayda Kaddish tells us that if the son, the child, the son or daughter, is misnaheg, he conducts himself according to the mitzvahs of the Torah, pure religious matter, then it brings a crown of pride and honor, glory, to the parent in Gan Eden. When the child makes a simcha, whether it's a bar mitzvah, or a bris or a chassid, anything at all, then Hashem himself takes the neshama of the parent out of Gan Eden and brings that neshama down to participate in the simcha. Invisibly, of course. Invisible as far as the live ones are concerned. As far as that neshama is concerned, it's there participating. You're dancing around, you never know it. Into the ghosts there. There is a fact that the neshama is present at the simchas if the child is one that conducts it religiously. He brings the sus to the neshama to come to the simcha. In this case, of course, we are certain that David Tzalal will be present at the Chassidut Hashem. There's no doubt about that, because let's say again, a son who is so intent upon advancing himself for the nas, the Torah, and generally in the Get both are such pure stock meaning yichas atzmon, they started to do important yichus, both the Breslov and Baruch Hashem. So we are certain there will be a simcha where the father will be there, Mr. Shem. There will be an Holy Father. So the outside itself, again, is one also where there is a simcha. This kind of simcha is added in the neshama. Because this judgment means generally they have sort of a rule, they call it on earth, where the teacher must pass the student. They have a rule, they have the English rule, the Habris. Well, then heaven, generally, because the soul has gone through a purification process each year, therefore generally, each neshama at the time of the outside has an aliyah, promotion, advancement, progresses above to a higher level of kiruv. There is no limit, it's inside. Each year there is this higher advancement, and for that simcha, we have what's known as tikkun. It's also a simcha, a party. On the day of the outside, there's a mitzvah for the one who says Kaddish to bring tikkun. Tikkun means cake, drink. This is a tikkun for the neshama. It is so important that the story is told, one of the true stories of Baal Shem Tov, Kaddish, who had his talmidim around him, and they were very deeply engrossed in the study of Torah and the study of the secrets of Torah, Kabbalah. So the whole day went by, and it became dark, and suddenly his mother, to make this, came to him with a vision, and she said to him, you accused me, you forgot my outside. You forgot my outside. You didn't daven for the Yom, you didn't say Kaddish, you didn't learn Mishnayos. Mishnayos, they say Neshama for the second Neshama. She said to him, well, I'm for you. I forgive you for not saying Kaddish, for not davening for the Yom, for not learning Mishnayos. I do not forgive you for not bringing drinks and cake. That I will not forgive you. That's the most important thing. Immediately, got the tikkun, and they had a big feast there. This was the second. But we see from that story very clearly that it's not the reason that not say a lot of food because people like to drink, and so it's an excuse. It is not. It is definitely a serious tikkun benefit for the neshama. On this Rosh Hashanah, for the neshama, this is the first day of the new year, this judgment day in which the neshama received an aliyah. At this time, we want to congratulate the neshama for being zecher to have a son who has advanced this point. We hope that continue to be a pride and honor to both his father Hashem and to all of the Am Yisrael. This should be a tikkun, not just for the neshama, but to all of us. We should be zecher to be nechta and every tikkun for me. A little about these sounds and kolos. We call each name a koil. The kiyah is called a koil, although it is actually one long sound. Shvarim is called a koil, although it's 3 medium. The teruah is also called a koil, although it's 9 short. Each one is called a separate koil, and so we have a total of 10 kolos for the 3 sets. Tashat, Tarat. It's 4, 3 is 7, and 3 is 10. 10 kolos. Now, there is a big question mark as to what the length of these kolos are. How long is the tekiah supposed to be? How long is a shvarim, a shvarim teruah? This is a very complicated set of rules, very complicated, and one of the most difficult parts, both of the Gemara and the Shulchan. Siman Tov Tzadik, where the study of the tekiahs, where the main question arises: what is the length of each one? First, the rule is established that there's no such thing as too long. You cannot make a tekiah too long. If you blow a tekiah, let's say, from the morning until the afternoon, it's kosher. If it is too short, then it's not kosher. So we have to determine what is meant by too short. The simple rule is always, without exception, that the tekiah, we have a tekiah on both sides. In the middle you have either shvarim teruah, shvarim alone, or teruah alone. Always the tekiah is as long as whatever is in the middle. So therefore, it's understood that the tekiah of Tashrad is twice as long as the tekiah of Tarat, or practically of Tashat. Two sounds there, 2 kolos instead of 1. that tekiah must be longer. That's why the tekiah of Tashat is a difficult tekiah, whereas one of Tashat or Tarat is much simpler. You don't have to blow it that long. Now, we still don't know the length of anything because we said it's as long as short and teruah, combined Tashat. So, thanks. How much is short and teruah? How much is short and how much is teruah? Then we have a Mechlekes Iman. The basic one we start from is teruah. Teruah is a staccato sound, very short. There are some Gemaras say that teruah is actually short. Not very short, but very short. Otherwise, the teruah, if you go you're covered. This would mean that karat, the tekiah of karat, is as long as the center. What's in the middle? Teruah. So a tekiah karat would be so short, very short, the tekiah be just as long as that, and finish. That's as short as a tekiah is necessary in karat, according to that day. Other days say teruah is 9 short, and therefore the tekiah of teruah must be as long as the teruah, which is 9 short. 1 long equals equivalent to 9 short. What is the final result? Halacha l'maisa. Halacha l'maisa, the din is that a person should blow a chatchila, a teruah of 9 short, at least. More, of course, we say there's no end. A person can blow 100 short. There's no limit above, up, and high number. So the person should attempt to blow a teruah of 9 short, and therefore the tekiah of karat should be equal to 9 short. If the Ebed, he didn't get out 9 short, he got out 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, he blew 3 teruah, 3 sounds of a teruah, but the Ebed, he is Yetze, there's no shadow about it. Everyone missed it, but the Ebed is Yetze. Of course, there are certain people who are redacting, very much redacting on a kernels of Shaifa. It's what the Arizal call Tikuney Zohar. There are people that I know of who spend hours just listening to different sounds of the Shaifa, to the Yetze, all the possibilities of the Halacha. In other words, the more they know, Marbe Das, Marbe Shtus. It's a pity that they destroy themselves with these fluency status, being too strict. It's not necessary. Yet, of course, they mean it Mishma. They mean it sincerely, so it's good, but it's a pity. Now, so we said that the evident person is Yetze, even if the teruah is only 3 short. Now, if you will use your giant mathematical brains, you realize that since the evident, or since according to this day, the evident enough, this day it says 3 short, what happens now? We come into the Tashrat, we have a big difference again. The point that others say that the teruah is 3 short, Tashrat has a short tekiah. Because the teruah is only 3 short plus whatever the shortim is. The point that one is the teruah is 9 short, you have a longer tekiah in Tashrat, you have the 9 short plus the shortim. Let's go back now to the shortim. What is the shortim? We don't know what Tashrat is. The shortim is 3 medium. This all agree. 3 medium, 4 medium. The person should try not to blow more than 3 medium. It's 4 and 5 is also okay, but it should not be more than 3 l'chatchila. Let's all agree to that. 3 medium is fine. How long is a medium? So the din is that very simply a medium is more than a sound of a teruah. Understood? In other words, the teruah is dut. That dut is shorter than one of the 3 shortim. So the 3 shortim must be at least as long as 2 dut to take it out of the category of the sound of a teruah. It also must be, this is much more stricter, it must be, each sound of the shortim must be shorter than a tekiah. Because if each one of the shortim is as long as a tekiah, you have 3 tekiahs instead of 1 shortim. So the shortim is limited to the length. It must be longer than the one part of a teruah. It must be shorter than a tekiah. How short, how long? Then we have, that's the most complicated part of these sets of rules with the shortim. So we know, simply, to simplify it, to finalize it, the shortim has to be 3 sounds. The shortim should be, each one should be the chatchila equivalent to 1 short equal to 3 sounds of the teruah, 3 shorts, which means that 3 shortim would be exactly as long as 1 teruah. So, what shortim, 3 medium, each one equal to 3 shorts, you have the 9 shorts for Torah, the kiruv of 9 shorts, meaning 3 meanings for shortim. Hence, we now know the exact length of the kiyah of Tashkat. Kiyah of Tashkat must be the equivalent of how many shorts altogether? Right. How many shorts altogether? Right? How many shorts? How many shorts? You learned this last year. No, it's too easy a question here. I'm sorry, you want only hard questions. She likes only real hard, these simple questions for Arizal. You got the answer. You lied. What? 18. I don't believe it. I can't. What's the wow? The boy has got. He was 2 years old. He'd say, wow. Who are you talking to? Oh, excuse me. So, as I was saying, short is 9 short equivalent. In other words, 9 short equivalent. And together, 9 and 9 makes. Oh, you have worse than the other, so don't get discouraged. 9 is 18 short. That's the total of the shorts. Of the sounds of a kiyah. Therefore, we now know that the kiyah of Tashlat is equals to 18 shorts. The kiyah of Tashak is equals to at least 9 short. Kiyah Tarat is equals to 9 short. If you made it less, that's the Yetzir Ben Yemen. Okay? If it's more than 18 short, Tashat or Tashat or Tarat, we can have the Tarat, the kiyah should be 9 short, the kiyah should be 20 short, equal to. That's no problem. So this is, you have to listen for this. Listen closely to the fact that kiyah Tashat is longer than Tashat or Tarat. Also, one more item, a question about Shavon Thruah. Do you blow them together? Or do you blow it separately? Pause. Are they one sound? If they're one, you're not supposed to stop, or are they 2 separate sounds? This again is a debate, and there's no solution to this debate, although, I don't know, maybe I don't understand Halacha, but it seems to me that the vast majority, whether they should explain it, that they all agree that it's kosher if it's together. But even the Halacha written is that since there is a question whether they're combined or not, so during the first 30 kiyahs, the first 30 keros before the Shemoneh Esrei, 30 keros in succession, there you have 3 times Tashlat. And those 3 times, the Tashlat is blown together, Shwan is blown together, without a pause. Shemoneh Esrei, this kiyah to the one, there they are blown with a pause in between. So we get to both days. If this is right, that's why we have a combination of both. However, it's certainly, as far as being difficult, it is many times infinitely more difficult to blow a shwan film with a pause than without a pause. That's one of the big problems about the case. Many of them who simply don't pause. They go through without the senach on the days that I said, the many days I said that you can't combine them both. Although Amor says, not possible, but you always have 2. So I said it's complicated, but at least this is what we do. Right? First kiyahs we do it together. The kiyahs we do it separately. But then you have 30 in the beginning. You have 70 more. So those 70 we may divide between either combined or separate. As long as you have at least 30 where they are separated. Now that's the length and breadth of the kiyahs. Length with the breadth of the kiyah. The last question, not the last, of course, the beginning of the last is, what happens if a Batakeh makes a mistake? When the Batakeh reads and he makes a mistake, then everyone goes to correct him. When the Batakeh makes a mistake, then only the Makir is supposed to correct him. Makir is the one who announces, Kiyah, Shwan, Tua, because otherwise you can spoil the sounds. And that's why at the time of Kiyah, there must be such an extraordinary silence, because if you have, as we'll see, the person would say is supposed to blow Kiyah, Shavarim, the Kiyah. Let's say that Kiyah true of the Kiyah, right? Kiyah true of the Kiyah. That's he blows the Kiyah. Then he comes out and he calls out Trua, he goes he puts inside a Shvarim. A Shvarim or one Shvarim, one Shever, or 3 Shvarim, regular Shvarim. What happens then? Does he then blow over just the Trua, he made a mistake over the Trua, or does it kill the whole thing, go back to the beginning of the Kiyah? Kiyah, Trua, Kiyah. In this case, when there's a foreign sound, it's called a strange sound. There's nothing wrong there. In Tarat, there is no Shvarim. He created a foreign sound, the entire set is destroyed.
So that means the first kiruv was destroyed, it's got to go back again. That's simple. Now, of course, these are a lot of halachas there about what constitutes the destruction of the set. This is up to the Makri to be a Baki, or the Baltikea, either one of them to be a Baki. The halachas, they don't get the mistake made if correct. But at the same time, each person is supposed to know, supposed to realize, that this proves that if there's a foreign sound, it kills the set. So any kind of a sound. If a person, say if somebody else when you hear another sound, it comes right in the middle of a Kia, that breaks up the set. Kia. Somebody blows a whistle in between. Of course, it's not literally a whistle, it's talking about it resembles a shayfa. You get a different sound in between. Or, worse still, you get a baby crying. So loud that it deafens, silences the shayfa. You cannot hear the sound of the shayfa, but part of the set, that set is destroyed. That's why the dentist says be careful not to bring infants to shul, be careful not to have any disturbances where every single sound is heard. But about the kids, trying to know if there was a sudden eruption, they should blow over whatever was missed by the Aharon, they shouldn't miss it. I think it is that the person should hear every one of these sounds carefully, listen to it carefully, let it penetrate into a person's heart to bring about a true degree of tshuva, which is therefore the tshuva of the shleimus. The Menachem is different from Tikuney Zohar is the day of the year. There is no day of the year that's important. Tomorrow is the whole year combined into one day. A whole year in one single day. You can make up for the entire past year. It's a big bargain day. And we start exactly 4:30. Slichas, about 6 o'clock we start Shachas. In fact, these approximate times for the Shachas. 4:30 is strict. You must be here at about 20 after 4, and to see to it that there is no lateness, tardiness. Coming late is unhealthy, especially tomorrow. Because tomorrow it's like what happens at the end, it means the whole year. Come late tomorrow is like you were late the whole year. That's true. So, try to be on time. What?
And I've said that the mincha here is better than a musaf from any other shul tomorrow. Tomorrow's musaf with malchiyas, the cleansing, the shayfis, the keys, everything combined, not compared to our mincha because mincha is the last tefillah of the year, it covers the entire year, and it is a tefillah with the blessings, protection of Rabbi Nachman. So that's why today's mincha, make up for the minchas that were missed, that were gotten properly, put as much kavanah as possible to this mile tefillah for the entire year, Tav Shalom Hey. The din says that it is customary, the minig, to fast Erev Rosh Hashanah. Minig to fast Erev Rosh Hashanah. Then also says that it is a minig, even more so, to fast 10 days. So this is a Teshuva, since you cannot fast in Rosh Hashanah necessarily, the Shabbos Shua, let's say. Of course, there is a shaila whether you're allowed to fast on Rosh Hashanah too. Or some person would say that you may mitzvah fast. So you have, no matter how you work it, you have 10 days when a person should fast between Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. And you can't have full 10 days and add a few days before Rosh Hashanah to make up for the 10 days that are missing. You cannot fast after Rosh Hashanah because then it's a holiday. Consider it you may simcha before Sukkot. These 10 days, Rav Nosson says that though in the din it says it's a question whether you have to fast the whole day, that's in succession, 10 days succession practically, the entire day. And of course you may eat at night, so it's not like fasting between Shabbos and Shabbos. But still, it's pretty difficult to fast 10 days practically in a row. Nosson says that the custom is to fast until midday, which means until 1 o'clock. The person to fast then, he's fulfilling this custom. To fast 10 days till 1 o'clock, some people skip breakfast anyhow, so it's not difficult, but as undifficult as it is, as long as you accept it as a responsibility, then the person finds it something difficult. He doesn't think about food, he can go along till 2, 3 o'clock without bothering it. As long as he thinks about the fact that food is forbidden, something begins to torment him. He can't stand the hunger pains and pangs. So it is difficult even for one who doesn't bother with breakfast, which is a crime. Those who fulfill the mitzvah of Pashachas, it's very difficult. That's the most important meal to start the day with. You know, without Pashachas, like some nervous people without their coffee in the morning. The rest of the day, they're not human anymore. So, this halacha of 10 days, Nosson says, the custom was, then, not to fast the whole day, but a half day. And as we said, even that is very difficult. 1 day, 2 days, to go through 10 days, it's a lot of torture. Rosenfeld says, the Arizal said, that a person has a treasure in a certain place. There's a treasure in a certain spot. To get to that treasure, you have to go through a jungle which has swamps in it. There's no way of going to that jungle without getting hurt, maimed, wounded, because you go through swamps, there are mosquitoes, there are other kinds of horrible insects, there are small animals that bite, other larvae that attack. The person gets torn by the thorns and brambles along the way. So he gets through that. He's like a wounded soldier in battle. He gets to the treasure on the other side. But if you have a short way off to the right, a path going through that jungle, which is well paved, and which is well protected, well guarded, you can walk right through smoothly, get to the treasure also, which is wiser. First you should go through the jungle, the briars, the wild animals, with definite positive assurance of being wounded, hurt, or to go through very smoothly, easily, and much more quickly. To get to the treasure, and when those two will get to the treasure, the one who is perfect health will enjoy the treasure much better. Arizal says, I guarantee that the treasure is the result of fasting for 10 days. It's a treasure. There's a lot of reward for that. There are 2 ways to get to that treasure. One is the difficult way. You go through with the fasting and torturing yourself, inflicting self-torture by not eating. The other way is a very smooth path. The person who has this bitterness, simple as bitterness. You don't get wounded, you don't have hunger pains, you don't get hurt along the way, you don't have to worry about it. It's very smooth and simple. Have this bitterness each day, more than usual, you're going to end up exactly at the same spot. If you have this bitterness exactly the same as though you fasted not 10 half days, 10 whole days, like a whole day of fasting. Nothing else says how fortunate we are. The Arizal revealed to us a new derech. Tzadikim. Derech is a path which is brand new, created by a tzadik. Arizal revealed to us a new path, a path by which we could emulate. Exactly. Those tzadikim who used to fast 10 full days, they went through afflicting self-torture. They go through the same thing, get to exactly the same goal, same end, the same tachlis as they did, not fasting, without struggling, with a very pleasant means of his bitterness, having to Hashem privately, and coming there, and just kind of being in perfect health, without that suffering. This is the pizza that is good for all year round, especially now before the Hashanah, before the Teshuva. We should be zeichet to do Teshuva for everything. Teshuva is more of a sense of negative act. Stop doing that which is wrong. Teshuva means also a positive act. Start learning more, start davening more, start doing mitzvahs, start giving more stucca. Don't think you're gaining by learning less. You notice you have more fun and things like that. You give less stucca, you'll have more money in your pocket. It's a very false perception, extremely false. And by davening more, having more as bitterness, a person can definitely rise up to greater heights. And that Teshuva, and that's the hus. A person can be assured, we should be assured of the Menachem, the Sifra Shachzikin, the Hayim, David Baruchim, Hashem should fulfill all our requests. Taiva, this year should be a year which is showing, which is Simcha the Sasson, which is the Uva Yeshua for the Same Gedaya, and as he mentioned once, there's a Shela, just to the reason it's Gedaya is because the king, Gedaya, the Jewish king, crowned, and the kingdom of Malta said that if the Jews retain their king, they could live a perfectly normal life as Jews, and then still the base of Mikdash would become honest, everything smoothly. Just don't rebel against the Romans, against the Babylonians. In other words, keep them as your masters, pay a stipulated sum of tax for them, you live in peace, no problem. There were some young, the youth radicals, the state radicals, figured they're going to show the world, they're going to defeat the empire of Babel, and they're going to force the issue. The Jewish king doesn't really want peace and now you assassinate the Jewish king. First kill the whole Jewish king, then go to war against him. This they did, that's what this was. Last year, what about the film Best Mikdash, that's why Syrian Jewish was for the final act for the destruction. This day, his assassination will be born with fasting. If not for this death, we'd still be in the first base of Mikdash today. Of course, what would happen? Only history between them. Where was
insect world by Orkin, the termite and pest control people.
All the other things, it's a question, but still, at least it's a fact. They came because they would still be here. But they would have been peace. So, of course, if not one thing, a second could have happened. At least we know this is the thing that could. So, in any event, the question Halacha is, when was Gedalia assassinated? Was he assassinated on Rosh Hashanah? The second day of Rosh Hashanah. Therefore, because it's a holiday, you cannot fast. So, it's Nitzvah, go until the next day. Or was he actually assassinated on the third day of Tishrei? Second day of Tishrei. Was it on the second day of Tishrei, postponed to the third day of Tishrei, or was it actually assassinated on the third day? Then we have a few places who maintain that he was killed on the second day, it was postponed to the third day, giving us a Titus mitzvah. Titus has postponed, has a lighter din, but less strict than what is original. Let's pick because, let's say, a person has a child who is on that day. A person who has a making of this. The Titus has postponed, he's allowed to eat a feast that day, eat a Sunday money feast. Another thing, light of dinner. The question is, say the night postponed, it's or not? Some places say it is. These now, states very emphatically. I know he says that a guy who was killed on the third day of Tishrei. Okay, the reason why, well, we have this summer classes. Those are the next list. The text to repeat the words of the condition. Arizal says that we said yesterday, the Shaifa is made from the monthly thing. You go to the Shaifa the first day, water goes to breaks the end of it. The second day it breaks the light thing. Since there is no Shaifa on the third day, it means that they didn't have a chance to be revived. They come back to their strength at the face of the day. They were reawakened. So, of course, there was no shame on the third day. These didn't brought about the destruction of the Gentile. It could not have been assassinated. Secondly, because the shofar broke the din of the thing. Arizal said that this is a fact that he was the third day of Tishrei was today, and therefore we fast on this day. We say sniffers, usually. Because when it says the Teshuva, we also have the longest day. Sniffers is longer than the average days. And also we played Arizal in the morning and in the afternoon. We see me on both times. And the fast ends, same day usually, exactly the same time. It's the same day always. It's in Kippur, this is what we can put, and it's exactly the same time too. The fast ends tonight at 8:18. 18 minutes past 8. Kippur ends exactly at 8:18 also. Question? However, this says if one is pregnant, it's excused for fasting. If the person is sort of pregnant with fear of trepidation of the fast, it's not excused. And women who's just given birth, also illness, the first 30 days excused for fasting, I think, the first 30 days. Still, I think it is that the this fasting we try to begin because we who are responsible. Every person, we say today that we and our forefathers committed sins. We weren't even there. We hold the knife or the arrow that killed Yaakov. As far as we know, we didn't do it. But actually, the same means that our Neshama before, our previous Neshama, had very well been there. We don't know. If we got to not take chances, we repent for it. In case we were responsible, same thing whether you pull the trigger, you shoot an arrow, or whether you are an accomplice. You join together with those who join together with the Pedah. Should rebel against Moshe Feinstein, was swallowed up by the ground just like Pedah himself. Joining in a rebellion is just as guilty as being a rebellion. Therefore, we repent for that. We hope that which means not that instead of mourning over destruction of making for every sin, this sinful Aharon rejoicing over everybody that is wicked. Come very shortly. Our time is to see the BS so we can have it. let's look at this, which is Yom Revi, the day before today's. These are the final days of the Syrian Jewish, and as we've explained, the Syrian Jewish is always exactly a period of 7 days. 10 days stands for right. 2 days of Shana, 1 day. Particularly you have about 7 days, which means that the Syrian Jewish, you have tshuva for every one of the 7 days of the week. Each day you do tshuva for those days of the year. For example, on Tuesday you do tshuva for all the Tuesdays of the year. Wednesday for the Wednesday, Shabbos for the Shabbos. So sometimes a person knows that on certain days they did well. For example, he knows what day he's supposed to go to a class. During the year, those days he played hooky. He didn't go. Instead he sat in the house watching TV. So he knows in him that there was a crime committed. Do tshuva that day for all those days of the year. And so on. This tshuva must be a sincere tshuva. Actually, because Hashem knows the person's heart, but we know that Hashem accepts the tshuva if it is sincere. The true tshuva is exclusively a case where a person resolves not to repeat this sin again. It's not just crying over having the past, it's comparatively worthless if there's no further resolve to improve that state. Above all, the Gemara says that it's easy. Hashem is Rabbi Nachman, Hashem is kind. We can invoke the kindness, compassion, pity of Hashem to awaken this Rahman. At the same time, you want Hashem to do good to you, kind to you, kinder than usual. Your responsibility to be kinder and better and more strict mitzvahs than you are usually too. So in the tshuva, a person should try to abstain from certain items which he knows even that he'll go back to again. After the Kippur is over, he might go back to these again, because they're not really, not really sins, but they're not in the category of the Vedas that answer that one clearly. So, at least during these days, you should show a strictness, better higher midah of religion. For example, according to the Indian submission, will buy bread from a guy. That is a guy should baker, not a private guy, private family that bakes themselves. That's actually a kosher. Baker, kosher baker, pasakum, is permissible according to the Indian. There are some who never eat pasakum. Those who do should at least do these days of tshuva abstain from that. Better still, undoubtedly, better still is that a person could try to abstain from certain pleasures which are questionable. Let's say abstain from talking a lot, abstain from gossip, abstain from the Shulchan, which is the worst thing in the world. Also, even that which is comparatively permissible, like abstaining from watching programs, watching shows. Those who go to what we call death. In Hebrew it's called movies. When you go to movies, the year should certainly let go during these days. Maybe these days they can find by themselves to do tshuva, let they go free. But even to watch TV, which some say is informative, some say educational, some say propaganda, some say stam garbage. In any event, during these days, a person should try to abstain completely or as much as possible. Try to be more strict in yourself, just as you want Hashem to be better than usual during these days, and forgiving. Above all, it is said that you can receive kindness from Hashem easily, because that's the 13 meters of Hashem, all filled with kindness. But Hashem will only be kind to you for something you've done against Hashem. When you rebelled against Hashem, another person would be burning mad. Hashem is kind, I'm sorry, Hashem forgives you. But Hashem has no forgiveness for a person who hurt a second person. That part Hashem says has nothing to do with me. You don't come to me and ask me to do because you struck somebody, because you stole money. If you did that, you hurt your friend, a fellow Jew. You got to go back to him and return that which he took illegally. or to ask his forgiveness if you hurt him in any manner, orally or striking him, you must ask him to forgive you. Only then will Hashem forgive his part of the sin. If you steal money, you broke one of the mitzvahs of the Torah. If you return it, the part that pertains to the person has been rectified. Now, if you do that, Hashem will then forgive you for breaking this law. But Hashem will not forgive you for signal if you ask Hashem from the Chila without first straightening out with the person. Therefore, Hashem says, you must first clear up your debts with people. Any kind of rules that are done shall be cleared up. Then come to Hashem and He will erase the rest of the sins. Yeshua the Jewish Lema, the Emes, and you see what's taken in the Torah. Amen. There is a halacha that says there are some people who are like benching. The end of the benching you have the shishah lachol chadesh olenu shul hazeh tevah lachol. Some people say that lachol chadesh the entire study is benching. According to Arizal, it should be said until Shani accepts. Ram, Shishah, so she gets to say lachol chadesh shul hazeh tevah lachol. Because what the Zayda Kodesh, but it's not just says in Teshuva. This carries on through. It says to me that the din begins at Shoshana and it ends on Yom Kippur. The Ilas Yom Kippur, Hilah means the closing and final end of the din, Yom Din. Actually, this is not really the end. So because it goes on further, the Sukkot still shut it up. Shut it up, but it is the final part like the Hilah. Kippur is when the din is carried out. And it says the din is carried out. So therefore, since the din goes on, the actual judgment carries on until the end of Sukkot, so it says, so when you have to daven to Hashem, this judgment should be good with the entire year. You say, Yachol Yechadei Shalei Shana Zeis, the table of Dacha, so Shani says, inclusive. Also, these days, since the Teshuva is a custom because of the fact that we have to be serious-minded. We do not have any wedding to take place. Nobody needs to do this. The person's in a hurry, he has to have patience. After Yom Kippur, you didn't get married. In fact, it's no time to get married. Yom Kippur is Sukkot, excellent time. Instead, you have the holiday of Sukkot. It's in the Sukkot. You don't stop that long with your wife. Married a couple of days, and then you separate again, and you can bring them again. So like it's Masim Chassidut, all you guys will get away from the old. Especially when Sukkot you have a Arizal, what was very good and very healthy for a person with many shlemus. Shlemus means slightly close to it. On Shabbat Shua, the Makdir at Shabbat Shua is a very important one. You have to call up a Makdir, the most important person in the Shul. Adam Choshev. So Halacha is not called, for instance, you not call a cut. Under 13, regardless of how great he is. You have a Yannick the Chakim. You know, let's say a child genius, a children boy. Ilu is already the best in the yeshiva or even or better than the Aharon. They cannot be called. Cut them be called. And they also, you're not supposed to call them bards. Ordinary person, you must call Adam Choshev, one who is very Choshev, was respected in the community. That's because Shabbat Shua is the top Shabbos in the year. Today, when it says Shabbos is Malchus, Shabbos Malchus. Malchus is they call the lower Shechina. That's the regular Shabbos. Shabbos Shua, or Shabbos Hagadol, these two you mentioned, is called Shabbos Shechina Ilah, or Bina. Couple of Bina, so that's why it's being so important. The husband of Bina, the explanation of Bina is Chachma. You need a Chachma together with Bina to make the Iman. It is a question brought to Bina about Kiddush Lahona. Do we say Kiddush Lahona before Yom Kippur? Or wait till Mitzvah Yom Kippur? this question applies even to us. We who are always so finish the one early, yet to us this applies. Do we wait for the kippur or not? And the answer is that even when you wait for the kippur, some say, what's the reason for both arguments? Some say that you're going into a judgment day, it's so serious, you never know. A person goes before judgment, what do? They take a scale, they put down the mitzvahs on one side, the sins on the other side. Sometimes a person is a big tzadik, so there's no problem. There's no contest at all. Mitzvahs are much heavier than the sins. A person sometimes is a Rosh Hashanah, so the sins are much heavier than this. So a couple of pennies will make any difference. But most people are bending, just about the middle of the road. You never know exactly where the thing will turn. It might be just about even. So it might be a case where if you happen to grab in quickly one more mitzvah, it might balance the scale in favor of the person. That's why it says we should grab as much mitzvahs as we could, and the mitzvah, Tikuney Zohar, is so important. Do it dafka before you kill it. If you have that additional mitzvah, which could sway the scale of your balance the scale of your favor. However, the Tikuney Zohar is so holy, reading the Shekhinah, when you come to the Shekhinah, you must possess the most important quality possible, and that is simcha. The person who understands what says of each 2 days, understands the awesomeness on this days of judgment, cannot really be happy during these days, because he's filled with a fear and awe about the day. So in Kippur, then he is free, light-hearted. That's the time for Simcha go out and greet the Shekhinah with Tikuney Zohar. The custom is, has been accepted universally by Jews, not to wait until we say in Kippur for Tikuney Zohar. Everyone will do it at the same time, and Simcha the end out, which was ever to the end of greet the Shekhinah and see Here's a halacha which is timely. It's good for you. Kippur is good for all of them. I got it. Before you get to the halacha, what the Shekhinah mentioned yesterday, that fasting, the din of fasting starts from a boy of 13 and a girl of 12. So then I said, listen, 13 being not 13, they signed us or something. But this thing when they try to fast, we're going to take it. With Rabbanan, so Rabbanan said that the person should start fasting early. At least a year earlier for boys, and a year earlier for girls. They should start fasting the whole day from 12 and 11. However, this din itself is a machlokes. It's Friday, it's custom to accept that halacha. Since it's possible sakona, danger for a child to fast, so they accepted a condition that the child can't fast. They give the child the right to fast all day. If he feels he cannot make it, then he could eat. Now, under that age, under the age of 12 for a boy, 11 for a girl, then it is advisable not to force a child to fast longer. Give the child a chance to add hours every year. At the age of 9, at the age of 9, let the child fast until 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. At the age of 10, let him fast till 1 o'clock. At the age of 11, 3 o'clock. You wait a couple of hours every year. The strange thing, though, is that it did say, everyone agrees to this, that under 9 years old, the child should not fast. Even if the child is healthy, the child wants to fast, the parent is required to stop the child from fasting. But we can rest assured that this din is good here for, let's say, thousands of years. We'll surely hit 200 years. We can rest assured that David, at the age of 6, when he was fasting all those weeks, he came in Kippur, he surely fasted. And we're sure his father didn't stop him from fasting in Kippur that one day. For those who really went through Tanesim, like it comes in Kippur, we suffer tremendous. The other is a tremendous physical suffering. In Kippur, fasting, wow, I can't wait. There are people who fasted. In Kippur to them was like a dessert. And if you Kippur, they could eat the next day. It's no problem. It's the first day of the fast. You got sukkahs. So that's this din. Speaking about this child, under 9, depends upon what family it comes from. But still, we cannot go against the halacha. If you have children under 9 years old, you're supposed to insist that they not fast. Of course, our custom always was that at least the night fast, at night. Let's say tonight we stop eating at 6 p.m. Or as I said, a minute to 6, 5 to 6. We stop eating at around that time. So the child, no matter how small the child is, a year old, 2 years old, unless the child is nursing, but the child is a year old, that eats actually could be put to bed at 6 o'clock. Well, let's say 2 years old. Give it a fair size where a child does sleep through the night. 2 years old or so, the child should be put to bed at 6 o'clock, and not to give him food until the next morning. So it's not fasting, and it is fasting. The child at that age will always be purified. That's very important. Because the children, from their inception, even though it seems they don't understand, but the neshama is just as old as the neshama of an old man. The neshama understands everything. If you speak to a child, and the child shows no sign of recognition, the neshama of that child is listening very carefully. You curse a child, for example, the Gemara says, watch out, because that child grew up. And the neshama will give the child an idea to go back at you. This is a clear Gemara, right? So, therefore, the neshama is alert, the neshama is intelligent, the neshama, you cannot match yourself against the neshama of a child because you don't know what the neshama has. You don't know the age of your neshama, the power of your neshama compared to his and the knowledge of all these generations of Gilgul. So that's why the child, even at the age of 2, if you feed that child mitzvahs, feed the child a tinus kippah night, where it doesn't hurt him, of course. The halacha is you got to be careful what you did of hurting a child physically. So that night, you put him to bed at 6 o'clock, you are not hurting him at all, and he is getting the mitzvah, he's getting the active participating in the tonis, no, of course, he's potter. But still, what doesn't mean that the child at that age is potter completely. A good parent sees to it that his child, from the second the child is born, for example, the second the child is born, regardless of how under 30 days he is, not even considered alive, still a good parent sees that the child will be kept from committing sins. No tray for food will be allowed to enter the mouth of that child. No chilul Shabbos for that child. At that age, to have to worry about such things. The Gemara says in Yevomis, right, that the chiyuv of a parent is in the chanech a child on these mitzvahs, shall taseh, from the birth of the child. Imagine the purity of the child who grows up that way. The child who can say, I was never Mechal Shabbos in my life. Never. Not even from the day I was born. Not even as a tiny infant. And there are some people, this is many arguments we have with people, certain sects of Hasidim, Ashkenazim, whose custom it is to give the child the talis of the Shabbos to carry the shul. And it's amazing, I've had many discussions, debates with some of these people who are very, they go with that. I think they target the uniform, and yes, you're that religious that wouldn't break the law of going to the, let's say, the Kaisel princes. How come that you allow your son to carry on Shabbos? The Jews, you are, there's a Shalom. Well, they're above these things. It's important to know that there is no answer to this. Search and discover. Because there is a certain Canadian that they rely on mildly, but even that one too is misinterpreted. It's important to know you're going to have children that should, you have grandchildren, you teach your children that a child should be raised properly with care, spiritual care, to see the child does not commit any wrong. And in this case, specifically, don't overdo it. You're not allowed to tell a child to fast, a child 6, 7, fast an hour, fast 2 hours in the morning, give them 8 or late breakfast. That's wrong. Do that to a child. Before though, you could do it where the child is not even aware of it, and there's no suffering on the part of the child, so you have profit without expense. So the other item refers to, or a little late, take your time. The other refers to davening on Yom Kippur without shoes, and without leather. We said that all customers according to that Israel are allowed to wear sneakers, leathers, and so on. Now, if those who daven without shoes, just plain socks, find sometimes that the ground, the floor, is cold. So they put something down on the floor to separate the floor. If that item is simple, a piece of paper, well, let's say you put paper on the floor. Anyhow, that's not bad. But if you put something big, stand on something that's high on the floor itself, then it is considered a form of gaiva to a degree. The Gemara speaks about the height and so forth. It's not gaiva. Yet we find that the posek are wary of this. Not to stand on anything you daven. It's too much ministry. The average is often Indian stand. There are some shuls. Notice the ultra rich ones, the wealthy ones, who have carpeting on the shuls. And the stand of this carpeting, in a sense, violates this thought. Many times you have shuls that in the Shamayim they give an idea, people are forced to have it, they put an idea and they put the carpeting below the seats, not in the aisle, or the aisle, not where the rows. The person down there, he knows about this, he simply stands either in the aisle or in the row seats where the carpeting is not, standing on the floor itself. This is an important item, especially when you come to the bowing kedem. The bowing kedem, the kippur, that we use the paper, if you note, why do we put paper down? To protect ourselves from getting dirty? That's far from the reason. There are some people who are that sloppy that they do worse things than just getting the knees or the hands far into the floor. The reason is that you don't want to ever bow anywhere outside of the Beis HaMikdash. You're bowing here outside of the Beis HaMikdash, not going to bow on marble floors as they had there. The floors here are made of stone, are made of wood or tile, so this is made of wood. They said that if this is marble floors, we add all kinds of floors. That's why we put paper down, so you're not breaking that law of bowing on a floor. This is the reason for it, that it's important to note. And this kippur, we should be zeichet to fulfill these dinim completely, to bow before Hashem here, be zeichet at the following time we should be able to bow before Hashem, as the all Jews, in the Arizal, in the Beis HaMikdash. And here, bowing, it says that the Kohen Gadol said the name of Hashem, everyone bowed. Which is nothing over here, the name of Hashem spoken by the Kohen Gadol, coming from the word, of course, came out of the Kohen Gadol's mouth. The Yesi Ben Yesi, the Chaver of the Avodah, states that it came from Hashem. Asking that Shmi Hashem said, not when you mentioned the idol, not when they come out of the Kohen Gadol's mouth. It's an important point. That's, he said it, that he let out of his mouth. The word came from Hashem. Only Hashem could mention the name of Hashem. We should never hear that the name of Hashem coming from the